Look, I need your help with something. So it's the middle of the year, the end of the year, and it's time to swap out our rubber gloves. So we will bring everyone's gloves in and we'll issue a new pair or a recertified pair, depending on what was required. And the gloves that we bring back in, we then do an inspection on them. And on that inspection, we're looking for aging, fading, things like that, or we actually do, puncture. We're looking for punctures and things like that. But if there are any damaged gloves, we throw them away. And then we need to order more. So we have to track all of this as part of your program. So let's say we get Joe is 1 out of 5 guys and we get his gloves and they're damaged, we throw them away. Now we have to order a new pair of gloves for Joe. And what should happen is that we go to our spec that tells us exactly which gloves to buy, and hopefully even a manufacturer. We go buy the gloves from them. It should still have a stamp even if it's new. And then we can hang on to those and issue them when it's time to swap them out again. But one thing happens, and I used to experience this a lot more, but if you were to go online right now and just check for rubber insulated gloves, like do it. Go Google search rubber insulated gloves class 0. It's like a 75 to 90% chance the first thing that you'll find are 11-inch gloves. And there's a huge problem with that because if you need rubber insulated gloves working on 208 to 480 volt systems, you have a distance that you're required to stay away, even as a qualified person, or not expose yourself to, and that's 12 inches. So if you have an exposed live part, you need to make sure all unprotected parts of your body are 12 inches back. And if you buy 11-inch gloves, that means that you can't even come within 1 inch of touching that energized part before your arm is now breaking that boundary. And then I have to ask the question, why are there so many 11-inch gloves out there? And why is it so hard to find a 14-inch glove? Maybe, I don't know, but I am guessing that because you go online and you type in rubber insulated glove and you do know the voltage, let's say that's the one thing you know is, hey, I'm looking for this voltage. You're going to then look for the cheapest glove. And the cheapest gloves are going to be the 11-inch, if not just because they have less material, but now because everyone's buying them. The demand is up and the supply is heavy, so the price goes down. But the 14-inch gloves, which are the ones at a minimum that you should have, are kind of harder to find. They're not always in stock. And you kind of have to scroll down to get to those. So the problem here is that we have people purchasing either not knowing what they're looking for, not knowing the requirements, and mainly not having a specification. So as part of your electrical safety program, one thing that you should have is just a simple one-sheeter that at bare minimum says the material, the class, and the length. And the next steps would be a manufacturer and then provide their certification level, a letter. But at least you need to know the class, the makeup, and the length. And if you're doing that right, then we will stop buying 11-inch gloves. It's so stupid. And then the next thing is it's on you as the electrician. If you're doing your risk assessment correctly and you say, hey, this is a 480 volt piece of equipment, and yes, I'm going to slightly even reach past the bus for something. Maybe you're wrapping a CT around a conductor. Who knows? Right then and there, you should realize, is there any part of my body that's going to be exposed less than 12 inches from that source? And if the answer is yes, because you have 11-inch gloves, you should catch it too. And there's one more thing I'll just add. You can get rubber insulated sleeves. They're not just for high voltage, linemen, but guys that work on switchboards. If you're reaching way back in a piece of, in a switchboard or in a switchgear, you might need some protection for your sleeves. So in which case you can buy rubber insulated sleeves. They make those too. And actually the requirements are less for those than they are for rubber insulated gloves. But stop buying 11-inch gloves. Be safe out there.